Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of a weekend reading vlog. So it is Friday, TGI Friday, and it's like 1 o'clock and the sun is sort of out. It is not fully showing its face, but it's a little sunnier, and it says it's like 57, but I'm actually like still pretty chilly. So that's the weather update. I feel like I do a daily weather update. So that is that. We have been inside all morning because if you can tell, the wind is kind of unpleasant. So we were inside and I saw this idea for putting like clothespins and pom-poms or cotton balls or whatever and letting your kids like dot paint eggs with it. And Ainsley was like, "You want me to what? Give me a paintbrush." So she used the cotton ball thing for a minute, which cotton balls absorb like all the paint. So it was really a huge fail. But we made an Easter egg. It's our first Easter craft. I have a feeling a lot more are going to be coming. So we did that. We did a beach body workout, and then Ainsley has been watching Jack Hartman workouts, their kids workouts or whatever. He does like brain breaks and PE and stuff, and so she loves that. So we did some of that. Really, like, I started a crock pot meal. We're having crock pot rice and bean burritos for dinner. So that is about all we've done today. But as far as reading goes, I started The Brightest Star in the Sky by Marian Keyes this morning or last night or sometime. And so far so good. So it's about this like building where there's like 4 floors, and we're just learning the stories of the people who live on the different floors. So there's 2 guys and a girl that live together. There's a couple. There's a mother-son. Like, the thing about Marian Keyes books, okay, so let me just tell you, this is like 600 and something pages. And the thing about Marian Keyes books is you don't just get to know the characters. You get to know the characters, their first boyfriend, their mother's uncle's brother, their every coworker. Like, you definitely get to know the whole world. And that's a good thing sometimes. It can get a little much, but this one is very much following that same thing. And so that makes it kind of confusing at the beginning. So I've read some other reviews that said it took them like 200 pages to get into this book. And I can totally see that, because it takes you a really long time to get to know the characters, just because at each time, so it's jumping between all the 4 different groups, I guess. And each time, like, it goes pretty deep. We don't get to know our characters right away. We get to know our whole characters' lives. And so it's a lot to keep track of in the beginning. I really am starting to get a good picture now that I'm a little ways into it. So, yeah, it just feels a little overwhelming at first, but very typical Marian Keyes. It's also counting back, like, it says like 61 days ago, and then 60, and then 50. So I don't know what we're working up to, but that is keeping me intrigued. So that's everything reading wise. I would say this is a very standard Marian Keyes, which is either a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you are. So we are gonna just hang out for a little bit longer and then do nap, and then I think my mom's gonna come over after nap for a little bit to play outside with us, unless this wind doesn't die down. So that is the plan for the day. So I will check in later. Hey everyone, it is Saturday and it's like 2:15, and so it's nap time. I just finished up with the Book Sisters live show. So if you didn't see that, we talked about the Babysitters Club, we talked about upcoming things, we talked about all sorts of things. So that just happened, and I thought I would take the opportunity while I'm still here and film a little clip. So I finished The Brightest Star in the Sky by Marian Keyes. Now, you're asking, how did I finish this massive book, the 18-hour audiobook, in this amount of time? I DNF'd it. So I DNF'd it at like 40 or 45% of the way through because partially I didn't care. Like, I just, the way she writes so in so much detail, I was just not in it. But then also there are multiple comments about fatness that are really, really, really offensive to me. And then also there is a comment about transgender, and then they make a joke, or she makes a joke about Al-Qaeda. And so that's when I was like, okay, fat phobia, transphobia, Al-Qaeda jokes, this is not for me. I'm not going to spend any more time on this. And so I read a bunch of reviews, and they said it about halfway. there is a rape and a suicide attempt and things that like completely shifted the tone in this book. So and then it just was like thrown in where it didn't belong. And honestly, I don't trust Marian Keyes to tackle those topics. Not in this book anyway. Like the way things were handled so like flippantly, I just would not. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. So this one, I'm done. I'm going to unhaul it. I think I'm done with Marian Keyes in general. I have her whole Welsh family series that I have read, and I liked them at the time. But now I'm like, I don't know. And then I have 2 or 3 of her standalones that I have read and liked at the time. But I do feel like most of her books are better read physically, just because they do jump perspectives quite a bit and they go very in depth about each perspective. So it's kind of hard to keep straight if you're on audio and if you're going through it too fast. So if my problem was just not being interested, I would probably stop listening to the audio and pick this up physically. But with all the fatphobic and transphobic remarks, I couldn't stomach it. And especially now knowing that she attempts to tackle some tough topics, I don't trust her to do it, honestly. So maybe she does it well. I DNF'd it at 40%, 45 maybe, and I'm done with this one. So instead, I picked up The Whisper Network by Chandler Baker. And this one, I did not read the blurb at all because this is a thriller, I think, and it's about 3 or 4 lawyers, like 30-something women lawyers. And they are talking about sexual harassment and abuse, and supposedly one, like, kind of their boss is an abuser. And so I don't know. This is told in a really interesting way because there is like random inserts of like somebody interviewing them, like maybe a cop or something interviewing them about this case against this man. And so I don't know, I'm getting some interesting vibes from this, but I'm also like really struggling to keep the different people separate. And I just don't feel like they're super strong characters. And so I don't know. This one also has like mediocre ratings on Goodreads, and I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be just a mediocre book because the women are very different, but they don't have very strong voices. So that's where I'm at with this. Kind of just a bummer. This one also has it seems like a ghost or something that's like peeking in on this apartment building. And I like what I read the twist is really weird on this too. So I don't need to keep bashing this, but this one, even for fans of Marian Keyes, I would say tread with caution. So that is everything reading wise. Like I had such a great week that then this weekend I'm like feeling like major buzzkill. So that Brightest Star in the Sky, I hate it when, so 400 or 45% is like 300 pages. And so I wasted a lot of time on that book. A lot of time. And I don't like that at all because I mean, I'm not going to count it as a book read. I'm not, I just don't like that. But, and it kind of put me in a slump. And so now this Whisper Network, I don't know if I'm giving it a fair shot because I'm just like kind of slumpy and grouchy about it. So, yeah, that is everything reading wise, life wise. This morning we just kind of hung out. My parents came over for a while and we played with the dog and, just played outside because the sun is sort of shining. Last night, Ainsley, it was a storm, and Ainsley has a lot of storm anxiety, and so I was up pretty late with her and then kind of early with Annie. So now I'm going to go hopefully take a little nap, and I will check in later. Hey everyone, it is Sunday and it's like 4:30-ish and we are outside. I just tapped out from playing catch with Ainsley and Jeremy's doing it. So we are just sitting outside and hanging out, enjoying some beautiful sunshine. So today has just kind of been a lazy day. We did a workout and that's really like it. Ainsley had gymnastics, we watched church, and we've just kind of been lazing around. So feels good, and it's like I said, like 65 degrees, so that is wonderful, and we got some sunshine, and it's just a great day. So as far as reading goes, I finished the Whisper Network, and like after such a great week, this was a rough weekend, you guys. I gave it 3 stars. It was just I don't know, something about the execution, like the premise of it sounded so good. I don't know if you guys can hear a really big airplanes going by, but the premise sounded so good, but something in the execution just missed for me. So this is about 4 women, all who work in this like office building. 3 of them are lawyers, one's the cleaning lady, and this guy who is accused of sexual harassment also he's in the building, and he is about to become the CEO. Around the time that he is nominated to become the CEO, he is added to this list of bad men that are harassing people. So we know, like, this book is told very much in the same way of Big Little Lies, and even kind of like Layla, like where it's like there's interspersings of police interviews. We know somebody has died. We know that the sexual harassment accusation has happened, and there's just like interspersings throughout of present day, and we're going back in the past to see how this all developed. So I like those things. I'm starting to feel like that is a little bit overdone, but maybe that's just what I've been reading lately. But it was just like the meandery way of getting to things. The women all, like I had said earlier, they didn't really have distinct voices. And like they definitely, like as you get into the book, maybe halfway or so, you can definitely differentiate the women, but I just didn't feel like any of them were very well developed. And I don't know, something about this really just missed the mark for me. So I'm giving it 3 stars. It was just all right. And like the end kind of had some twists, but they were definitely ones that you could see coming a mile away. So I would not necessarily recommend that one. So then I picked up Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, and I'm happy to say so far I'm loving this one. However, I'm like kind of feeling slumpy after a DNF and then a very mediocre 3 stars. And so I have it on audio from Hoopla, and I'm just like not really in the mood to read it. Not because it's bad, but just because I'm kind of like, burn me once, you know, that kind of thing of like, I'm just done with books for right now. So I'm reading it very slowly, but this is about a girl who just got her PhD in astronomy, and she is like type A, got everything going on, just very like, her dad is a colonel, and she's always lived her life to try to please him. And she wakes up one morning and she has married another woman in Vegas, and the woman is gone but has left a note. And so she has like very hazy memories of the night before. So she kind of remembers, and she like knows what she did, but she doesn't remember a whole lot. And so now she's just like, she goes back home from Vegas because she was on vacation, and she's trying to just like piece together things and kind of find this girl as well as like find herself. And so I've heard this is like kind of equal parts romance and like women's fiction, and so far I'm finding that, but like I said, I'm not very far into it. I would love it if it is just as much women's fiction as romance. So so far so good on that one, but that is it. So I'm gonna wrap up this vlog here because like I said, it's like 4:30 on Sunday. I put some green enchilada soup in the crock pot, and so that is exciting. It's a new recipe, so we'll see how that goes. So dinner's just cooking away in there, ready to go, and we'll just kind of hang out until bedtime. So we did not get a house this weekend. I had told you guys that one was coming that looked promising, and we won't know about that until next weekend. So just kind of waiting on that as well. So that was my weekend. How was your weekend? Let me know if you've read any of the books I read, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.